Hi and welcome to our Daily Bread. Today I'm going to be doing some baking, which I don't usually do, as you who are regular viewers may know, but this is such an easy recipe. It's a wonderful rustic dessert recipe that I think if I can do it, anybody can do it. And on the show today, we're going to have Sister Janet DiPasquale. She's from the TRY program, and that stands for Teaching and Restring Youth. She's going to make some chili, which is, I understand, is a favorite at the house, at the TRY house. And then we have Estefani, who's going to make pastillos. But for our rustic crostata that I'm going to make today, again, it's a very easy recipe. Everything's going to be done pretty much in the, for the dough, it's all going to be done right here in the food processor. You're going to put in 2 cups of flour. Now I'm whole wheat flour, but you can use any all-purpose flour. I'm just using it because, I like the whole wheat kind of look to things. And then we've got a little bit, that's about a 1/4 cup of sugar. And a little pinch of salt. There we go. And the salt just, brings out that little sharpness in the flavor. And then we're going to start, let's see. Whoops, okay. We're going to start pulsing this. Yes, we are. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm going to take a 1/2 pound of butter. Now, everything you work with should really be icy, icy cold. So we're going to drop this in a little bit at a time. And pulse that. Let's see, I think I got everything in here, except for the water. Now, the water, again, needs to be icy cold. We're going to use about 6 ounces or so of water, maybe a cup if we feel like we need to. The trick to good dough, this pastry dough, is to do it as quickly as possible so that everything stays really, really cold. I'm going to put in about 6 ounces of water, icy water. I just had the bottle in the freezer for a little while. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. While there's a recipe, obviously, it's also like a matter of feel, If you're a baker, you know that better than I do. Okay, so let's pour out the dough here. There we go, and I'll get that little wet dough on the bottom. Now I'm going to add some flour to this, so if it's a little too wet, we'll put a little dry flour in it. So let me put a little bit over here. Okay. Now, as I said, we're going to talk today with Sister Janet DiPasquale about the TRY program, And I first met Sister Janet, it's hard to believe how long ago and how young she still looks, But years ago, I met her at my first summer assignment as a seminarian. That was in the summer of 1985, 31 years ago. Can you believe that? 1985. And now this is a little wet, so I'm going to put a little more flour than you might normally use there. But again, it's by feel. It feels actually pretty good. A little damp inside, but we're going to take care of that with this. And again, I don't want to work it too much. In fact, that's probably about as far as I should go with that. Okay. Now let's set this aside to let it rest for just a couple of minutes. And while that's resting, I am going to grab some frozen raspberries. Now, I used to make a big mistake with frozen fruit that I would use in baking. I would thaw it out first, and if you thaw it out first, it has a greater chance of running, okay? So you want to use the fruit when it's still frozen. I'm going to use about, let's see, I'm going to say 12, about a pound of frozen. I'm using raspberries today. You can use other fruit as well if you like. They're still frozen, okay? Still frozen. Now I'm going to put a tiny bit of cinnamon in for flavor. I'm going to put, about a tablespoon or so of cornstarch. I'm also going to put just a little tiny bit of flour. And what the cornstarch and the flour are going to do is to hopefully, absorb some of the liquid while we're baking the crostata, okay? I also want about 1/4 cup of sugar. Okay. Now, obviously, this isn't something you'd probably eat every day, but it is a special occasion to have Sister Janet here. And I was assigned as a seminarian to a church called Our Lady of Sorrows, which was on the east side on Genesee Street. Sadly, since closed, but a lot of the good work that was begun there is continuing through the people who live there. I was very blessed to meet a number of great religious sisters who lived in the convent next door. And I was with Monsignor Jerry Sullivan, and he was a great pastor to work with. And I was, not a kid, but I was in my late 20s, 28 or 29 at the time. I used to enjoy it. It was a new experience for me. One of the great things that I would love the most, though, would be bingo night, because I would work bingo night. Now, why would I like working bingo night? Well, because, by the way, I'm cutting that dough, and you have enough for another one, and you can wrap this, you can put it in the fridge for a few days, or you can put it in the freezer even if you'd like, okay? And I think we'll have enough dough right here to make our crostata. Good. I want to make sure I'm floured good here, and I want to roll this out as quickly as I can. Oops, all right. We are under some hot lights, all right. Son of a gun. All right, let's try again here. Well, bingo night was my favorite night of the week, one of my favorites, because on bingo night you got to have, at the end you ate with the older German folks who would still come into the parish, even though many of them had moved out, to raise money for the parish by running the bingo. Whoop. So at the end of bingo night, if we made over a certain amount of money, or if we were particularly successful, they would bring out a bottle of black velvet whiskey. And then you'd have a shot and a beer with the older Germans, which was a great time for me. If we didn't make a certain amount of money, I think it was $1,000. If we didn't make $1,000, we would just have the beer or soda pop. And they'd eat Limburger sandwiches, Limburger cheese, which is smelly. But boy, is it good. And it's the first time I would put pickles on Thuringer. That was a great thing. And so I have a very, there were religious things too, but the food was important just as much. We used to have a good time there. And this is a very forgiving crust, and it's just great. Here we're going to put the raspberries in the center, still frozen, okay? We're going to preheat the oven at about 450 degrees, and this is going to go in the oven, and you're going to check it at 25, 30 minutes or so. Now, again, you don't have to use the whole wheat flour, but I just thought it'd be a nice little touch, rustic touch. You fold this in, spread the berries a little more. And as I said, if you use frozen berries, it's fine, but don't thaw them out before you bake it. So this goes right in our oven, 450 degrees, and we're going to let that go for 25 to 30 minutes. And we're going to be back with some other great food and some wonderful guests talking about the Try program on our Daily Bread. Right after this, we'll be back. Welcome back to our Daily Bread, and joining me now is Sister Janet DiPasquale, and Sister Janet is going to make chili. I made the crostata, which is in the oven, and then we're going to have pastillos.
That's
is that right?
That's
okay.
right,
Pastelitos,
right, yeah.
So, Sister, you're the director of the Try, do you call it a program, or what do you call it?
We call it a program.
The Try program,
okay. Yeah. It stands for Teaching and Restring Youth.
And how did you get involved in this program, Teaching and Restoring Youth?
Well, as you know from having lived with me many years at St. Mary's Sorrows, I'm a social
Sister,
worker.
wait a minute. Really, do we want to say that we lived together for many years?
I see.
I don't know.
Well,
people might get the wrong idea.
okay.
But I was a very young seminarian, and Sister was a very young sister.
Yes.
And I was assigned there for a summer at St.
You
Mary's
were.
Sorrows. It was one of the best summers I had.
I remember that very well.
Yeah.
I say to people I meet that my best experience of community and living together with people who are working for a cause, it was one of my best times.
Yeah.
So how do I get involved? Well, I'm a social worker by profession, and I think one thing about Try is that once you know about it, it grabs you. It grabs you, and it grabbed me. And so I said, well, what can I do there? And the former executive director, who was there a year and a half, met someone, got married, and I was asked by another sister that you know, Sister Diane Giannata,
Sure.
why don't you consider being the director of the Try program? And I said, could I do that? And I said, yes, I'll do it for 3 years. Well, I've been there 17 years. So,
Oh, that's terrific. Yeah.
that gives you a sense.
We're making chili.
We are.
Why did you choose chili for your dish today?
For 2 reasons. One is,
By the way, should I start cooking
yeah,
the
why
beef?
don't you start doing that?
This is, lean ground beef.
That's lean ground
All right.
beef. We like to have the girls eat healthy.
Oh, good.
And one of the reasons I chose the chili is that our girls are required, because they live there, to help with the cooking. This is very easy for them to put together. We're going to chop a little onion,
Okay.
put that in,
Let me set these
get
to the
going.
side for
Sure,
now.
that would be
You
good.
want to chop the onion? Do you want me to chop it? You chop it? You can chop. You want
I'll start it.
Perfect,
And if it
okay.
looks like I'm in
No, I'm sure you're-
dangerous territory,
I'm sure you know how to chop an onion.
I'll pass
You know how
it
to
on
run a
to you.
program for
Yes,
17 years. My goodness.
Absolutely. Well, when you made the comment how long ago you were a seminarian, I thought, my Lord.
How could it be
How
31
could
years
it
ago?
be? How could it be?
Yep.
That the time passes so well. I think I should have taken the peel off of this. What do you think? Get that
Well,
off first?
you're scaring me. I never saw anyone slice an onion like this.
No, I'm
That's
taking
right.
I'm taking the skin off.
Are you? Okay.
Maybe I'll.
Or you could do it
I'll
in
turn
halves
it
like
over
that.
To you.
And no, you could do it. You just cut them in half. You want to take the skin off? That's
Right,
great.
right,
Okay.
right.
Now, teaching and restoring youth. So, what type of person do you encounter? With whom do you kind of work at
Sure,
the house?
sure.
And the house is on the east side of Buffalo. It used to be a convent.
It's a former convent, yes.
Most Holy Redeemer. Right.
At 228 Brinkman. And again, the group that started the program went kind of house hunting. And they found this house.
But whose needs do they meet? We say teaching and restoring
Sure,
youth.
sure.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the girls who come to our program have to be identified as being homeless.
I
What
see.
does that mean? That means that they really don't have a safe or healthy place to stay. And so we often get them from referrals from school counselors, shelters like Compass House or Cornerstone, and they come to our program, as I said, because they really need a safe, supportive environment to live in. And the restoring part is to bring them to hopefully better health. We're working with girls, Father Paul, who have suffered some form of abuse, neglect, any kind of victimization. And so we want to offer them, in some ways in Jesus' name, this is where they can come to be healed. And we've got wonderful staff. We're staffed 24/7. We have therapists on hand. We have social workers. We have a case manager. And they're very important.
What's the point of what's the goal with these young women? What's the outcome? How long do they stay, for instance?
They can stay anywhere from, we'd like them to stay a minimum of 6 months to a year, year and a half.
6 months to a year.
So, we're hoping by them, what the purpose of the program, I think, is our name. Teaching, whether it's cooking skills, learning how to take care of their body, learning how to be more assertive young women, to restoring them. As I said, we have a lot of girls who need some intensive therapy. They could have come from homes where there was drugs going on, certainly any form of abuse, physical, sexual abuse, or neglect. All that could be going on. Or they just, living there is really too difficult for them to do. And it's hard for some of them to share their stories, as you can understand.
I can't
because,
imagine,
as I say to people, I didn't have a perfect family. I can say that now, I suppose, because my parents are deceased. But in all jest, but I knew that I was loved and cared for.
Exactly. Who had a perfect family?
Nobody did.
Well,
Nobody
Jesus
did.
probably, because
Well,
he had Joseph
perhaps.
and Mary. But that's
Perhaps.
about it. You're not going to get that combination much in this life.
I don't think so. I don't think so. So, how's the meat coming? It looks.
I think it's almost brown.
I think it's going to do, because it's going to bake a little in the pan.
Okay.
this is a teaspoon, so I think I'll put in, now here's my math. I said it 4 of these to 1, or no, 2
I don't know
of
what you
these-
said. I
two
can't
of-
remember.
2 of these to 1 tablespoon.
2 of these what?
2 of these. So
Well,
we're
you
gonna-
got about
we're gonna-
4 tablespoons there. Yeah.
No.
No.
That's only a
Well, I'll let you
teaspoon.
run over.
Oh, okay. Well, then
That's
I'll
right.
just
I don't
put a
care.
little-
This is great.
Okay,
Chili
there we
powder.
go.
You know, I wouldn't even measure it. You know, that's how I do
Okay,
things.
well.
So all this stuff goes in
We're
then?
trying to get the girls to measure things in there.
That's a
so
good
they
idea.
don't,
You
know.
should- yeah,
But
definitely,
I
yeah.
know I'm with...
With baking, you don't, you really
yeah,
have to measure.
that's
So,
right. So now
All right.
we'll do
So we'll dump
pouring
the-
here.
so these are beans.
Those are beans. And you can put all kinds of beans. You can do pinto beans. You can do red beans.
Now, the only thing I probably would add, may I say? Go
Sure.
right ahead. I'd probably put a few green peppers in here. I like a little green
Ah.
peppers, but with the onions.
This
But
one I
that's
thought about
me.
the chili, but maybe that. Yes.
That's fine,
Well,
no.
you know what? I didn't bring it today, but when it's done, we like to put shredded cheese on it.
Oh, I love
So
shredded
that's
cheese.
good. So
on
now
chili.
this cooks for 10-15 minutes till it's nice and hot.
Perfect. And we'll be talking a little bit more about the TRY program, Teaching and Restoring Youth, right after this. Don't go away. Beans, the magical fruit. Did you ever hear that one?
Yes, my brother's saying that to me all the time. I know how it ends.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Welcome back to our Daily Bread, where today we're talking about TRY, the TRY program in Buffalo, Teaching and Restoring Youth. Today on the show, I made a crostata, which we're going to see out of the oven in a few minutes. Sister Janet DiPasquale made chili very quickly. And right now, Steffi, right?
Yep.
What's your actual given name, though? It's so pretty.
Estefani.
Estefani. And Estefani is going to make, what are you going to make?
Pastelitos.
Pastelitos.
Which is our Puerto Rican food.
It's a Puerto Rican dish,
Yes.
and you're originally from the
Rico.
island of Puerto Rico,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yep.
And basically, what would you make this for? A side dish, a main dish, what?
People like to eat this all the time in Puerto Rico. They like to eat it for lunch, breakfast sometimes. I don't not recommend that, but hey.
Okay, all right. Some people like pizza for
Yeah,
breakfast,
exactly.
so what the heck, yeah.
So why not? But people eat this at any time.
Is this pretty easy to make?
Yeah, it's really easy to
Okay.
make. You
And
just-
when do you make this? Do you make this at the house ever, or do you?
I do make it at the house sometimes.
Uh-huh.
I make it at the house. I can make it with with my family sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Where's your family?
They're here in Buffalo.
Most of them are here in Buffalo.
Well,
then.
no, they're in Puerto Rico, and there are in Puerto Rico, New Jersey, and now there's some people in Buffalo, but
Got
not
it.
everybody.
How long have you been in the area?
In Buffalo,
Yep.
I've been only 2 years.
I see. Now, I'm going to cook the beef. Is that it?
Yes.
Now, sister, we used 95% lean, but yours, this is 75%
Yeah.
lean, so it's got a little fat in it. So we probably won't have to use any oil in the pan.
No, not
And what are
right
we going
now.
to do?
You
Just
need to
brown?
take-
Am I going to just brown this? So, Steffi, how did you first get involved with the TRY program?
I went to my school and asked them if there was any place where there's people to live at, get out of their houses to move.
Uh-huh.
And my school have a little experience with TRY, so they told me about the program. And then I had an interview with Sister Janet and my case manager. And after that, we talked about all the stuff. And
How's living at the TRY house? What do you
it's
think?
really nice.
You like it?
I like it. Yeah, the staff are really nice. I love the weekend staff especially.
Let's see, the meat's almost done, I think, and then we'll drain the grease
Yes.
off. What are we going to do with this potato? do we
Okay,
have
so
to do
we
anything?
need to peel the potato and then cut it in little pieces.
This really isn't a potato peeling knife, but I'm doing my best. So just one little potato goes in this, huh?
I mean, you could use as many potatoes as you want, but
Uh-huh.
I feel like one potato is enough.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, if you feel like one potato's enough, I am not the one to.
yeah.
Could you want to slice up a potato?
What?
You want to slice up the potato and I'll do the
Oh,
drain
sure,
the
yeah.
meat?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Steffi, what am I going to do with the meat now? Put it back in the pan or what?
You put it back in the pan.
Okay. So we drain that juice and that fat off of that. And I'm going to leave that off the fire for now?
Yeah, leave it out there.
Okay.
Well, I mean, actually, we should put the seasoning in it.
Oh.
So it start tasting good,
On the fire or off the fire?
On the fire.
On the fire. Okay. And what seasonings are we going to put in?
First, we're gonna put adobo.
Adobo, how much?
Yes. I usually eyeball it, but
Okay, well, about how much do you eyeball it? Tablespoon?
I guess, yeah.
More?
I think that's maybe okay.
Huh?
That's okay, yes.
I'll put a little more.
Yeah.
So these are all, these are Goya products. We had the chef from Goya on one of our programs once. A very interesting guy, and they're nice folks. And this is sofrito.
Yes. So, like, there's also, like, we didn't have to put everything in it.
Oh, how much was I supposed to put in?
Like a spoon.
A spoonful, okay. I will fix this, I promise.
Okay, I trust you.
I'm sorry, I should listen. I should listen better. What else goes in here?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I should keep putting stuff anymore.
It's pretty good, actually. Trust me, trust me.
Well,
It's not bad. See,
you could put
we had a lot of meat there, so that's good.
Yeah.
What can I do?
Right now we just put the sazon.
All of it?
Yeah, all of it.
The whole
This one-
box?
No,
Of course not. And that's very popular also in Hispanic dishes, I know.
Yeah,
What else?
we always.
Oh, you're going to, okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
You can get the tomato sauce. if
Thank you.
want.
Okay, both of them?
We just get one.
Just get one, because we
Yeah.
put enough, I put too much sofrito in, so we're going to
Yeah.
put it down to one. Okay. The potatoes
Yes.
also are a bit of a thickener because of the starch in them, right? So that will... Now, how long do we cook with the potatoes and everything else?
The potatoes are supposed to be here until they're soft.
Now, you know, you ended up at the Try program because, why? Things were getting a little complicated at home? And
things
or
were
what?
getting complicated at my house, and I just wanted to like also grow up and be able to take care of myself and be an independent woman.
Let me see.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to, be out of my house so I can start doing that.
If you were telling somebody about the Try program, what would you say, what good does it do, and why should people maybe support it?
It gives young women hope and places to, and a roof to live at. You're there for like either 6 months or 1 year. When you finish with Try, you know what to do. We learn how to cook, we learn how to take care of the house because that's our house and we have to maintain it clean. You know how to pay the rent, how to maintain money, how to like do your own appointments, doctor's appointment, how to do all the stuff.
Okay, Steffi, now we've got our potatoes, everything are cooked together here. Looks good. I'm going to put on some hot oil. I'm going to heat up some oil to fry these, right?
Yep.
So we'll use a little vegetable oil in the hot pan here. And good?
Yep, that would be fine.
That should be good.
So what you do is just grab a spoon of meat.
Grab a spoon of meat.
Yeah, or like 2, whatever you like. Yeah.
All right.
And then.
Wait a minute. Let me see how you do it because I want to.
Oh yeah.
Let me just
Okay.
move this a little bit over here.
Okay, so there you go. You can add more as much if you want.
How much do you want in it?
Well, I think that will be
Like
fine
that much?
for now. Yeah. So like,
Okay.
if you put too much, then you won't be able to close it.
Okay.
And that's not good. Let me put it here. So after that, all you do is this. You
Oh, we
just
have-
flip
okay.
it over.
Oh, I may have put too much in it. Let's see.
It's okay.
Okay.
The more, the better.
Okay.
Take off the
Little
plastic.
wrapper here.
Yeah, and then grab the fork
Uh-huh.
and start pushing down.
We made a lot of good dishes and fast dishes, easy things today too. So Sister Janet, how would someone get involved in the Try program, either as a participant or as someone who kind of maybe volunteers or supports it?
Well, thank you for asking, Father. First of all, I'd ask you to go to our website, tryprogram.org, and there's a list of things that we need for the girls. You remember, our girls come in here sometimes with very little. They come in the winter time, they need boots. If they're coming in going to school, they would need the things that any other teenager would need going to school. So if you want to help, of course, we also take financial donations, which can be made through our website.
And is it a nonprofit organization?
It's a not-for-profit organization. We have our 501c3, and we certainly welcome volunteers. And again, on our website's a list of how you can go about doing all these things.
Terrific. Would you say the prayer for us?
I'd be happy to. So we ask God our Father, to bless this food, to bless the work that you do here, Father Paul, to bless all the girls that are in the Try program, and for all the girls who have been there. May God hold them gently in their arms and bring them to the fullness of their life. And thank you, of course, for this food. Amen.
Amen. Let's try some. Here's the chili.
Hey.
Pretty good if you do say so yourself, huh, sister?
Think the girls would like the chili?
Yeah, it's really good. I really like it. I normally don't eat chili.
These are really
but
good.
it's
This is really tasty. I love this.
Yeah.
I'll need a doggy bag.
You know, I like the way that crostata worked out really well, leaving the berries frozen. In fact, it even worked out better than when I used fresh fruit, not runny or juicy at all, just a great consistency. That's our show for this week. Thanks for being with us. It's so nice to join you. And please, check us out on YouTube. We have a Daybreak TV Productions YouTube page. Why don't you subscribe to that? You can find a lot of great things and our daily bread. Until next time, God bless you. And be someone who brings about peace, and be someone who takes action in the name of Christ to help others, like our great friends at Try. Thanks a lot. Thank
You.
Thank you.